How many of you have ever been part of a school production? And if you haven't, how many of you have ever watched a school production? For those of you who don't fall into either of these categories, it's okay to like your couch. Recently, I became the student director of a school musical, working alongside an incredible mix of people: drama and music teachers, lighting engineers, costume and set designers, and so many more. Watching these professionals combine their talents to create something cohesive and powerful, something magical. This taught me that creativity isn't a one-person act. Creativity is combining ideas, skills, and perceptions from different disciplines. And this got me thinking, if creativity works best by combining and drawing ideas from diverse areas of knowledge, why doesn't our education system do that? When I was in kindergarten, life was fun and exciting. We solved math problems with crayons and finger painting. We used musical chairs to learn about timing, to learn about memorization, and if I asked you to give me the 7th letter of the alphabet right now, you could, and you would sing it to me, because that's how it was taught to you, and it was efficient, so it stuck. They used your multidisciplinary knowledge and combined them to familiarize you with an otherwise unfamiliar concept: mathematics, counting, English language, the alphabet, music, in the form of song, alongside patience and memorization. This thematic approach that we used in kindergarten was brilliant, and it was too soon abandoned. We need a paradigm shift in the way we train our teachers to train us to see connections between our subjects and understand how concepts overlap. And I'll get back to that in a moment, but firstly, I would like to introduce some of you to Bloom's taxonomy of education. This is a credible educational framework that organizes and outlines cognitive abilities ranging from basic recall all the way to advanced creation. And according to Bloom's taxonomy, which also assumes credibility because of how hardcore it sounds, the end goal and the vision of education is being able to create. And that's it. That's the sole purpose we go to school. And that's why we're here. And that's where I believe we're lacking as an education system. So instead of teaching isolated subjects, why don't we emphasize interdisciplinary learning? By that, I mean an approach that helps students understand the connections between the subjects they learn in school, between the lessons they learn in their classrooms. This would cultivate critical thinking and prepare us for the complexities of real-life problems, because our world is changing rapidly. And I'm worried. I'm worried that our world is tilting and our education system is standing still. I'm worried that in 15 years' time, I will not have a place in society because this stagnance will catch up to us. We're facing issues that don't fit neatly into single subject boxes. Today, being successful means being able to think across boundaries, yet our education system focuses on each subject independently. Math, history, and art, and if you have really African parents, physics, biology, and chemistry, but completely disassociated from each other. So the burden of making these connections is now left to us, the students. But why? If you could allow me to take you back to my experience shadowing the director of our school production, I could tell you that he was involved in every single aspect. Lights, sound, costumes, all of it. We had someone at the top that had such an in-depth understanding of his field of expertise that he actively saw it bleed into everything else. And he saw how everything else existed in relation to what he knew. He knew, and I learned through him, that if he only knew how to direct, he wouldn't have been able to create such a masterpiece. What if our teachers had this same approach to learning? What if our math teacher understood drama? And what if our physics teacher understood history? What if our biology teacher stood at the baseline of a basketball match and told players why their stamina was low, why they need to drink water? It did ABC because of DEF. What if instead of teaching us subjects individually, our teachers helped us understand how concepts connect to each other? Because creativity is the ability to connect diverse pieces of knowledge. Creativity is what sets us apart, especially in a world where artificial intelligence can perform predictable tasks way better than human beings. Our saving grace is the flexibility we have, the intelligent agility, being able to solve complex, real-world problems. Think of Einstein. His theories transformed physics. But did you know that he actually credited his violin playing to some of his greatest insights? He believed that his understanding of music helped him see new ideas in science. Imagine if he'd been told, hey, stick to one field. We need people who understand both technology and art, science and design, humanities and languages. If we want to solve intricate problems, we need a system that we can depend on to prepare us for that thinking, to prepare us to make these crossovers. Yet our assignments in school force us to keep each subject in its individual lanes: physics in physics, math in math, art in art. But the real world doesn't work like that. Fascinatingly enough, the way in which swimmers slide through the water and the way that they shape their bodies in response to resistance is a study in physics. But when was the last time we connected physics to something like swimming practice? When was the last time our physics teacher came to a swimming lesson and explained to us why, no, we can't swim like that, because although it's comfortable, this is what it does, and you learned this in class? We're learning things that we're not able to recognize in real-life situations, because for most of us, once the bell rings, we're no longer in physics class. What is physics? We shut the textbook and physics goes out the window, because we're not taught to understand it at such depth. We're taught to be able to write a standardized exam paper, and that's all we know to do. This is a new call to education, a new horizon, a shift towards treating creativity as a survival skill. Because imagine a world where students don't just graduate as experts in a single field, but as adaptable thinkers, equipped to solve problems we haven't mapped out, outlined, or even imagined yet. Imagine classrooms that prepare students and build them into prospects like perseverance and time management, so that they can be prepared to lead, to innovate, and create in a way that machinery cannot replicate. For this to happen, we need educators, policymakers, and parents to rethink traditional modes of success. Because this isn't just about changing our approach to learning. It's about future-proofing our society. In 200 years from now, even in 20, we don't know what the world is going to look like. Do you think we're prepared for it? Do you think we've carved out a path that will help our descendants survive and thrive? We need a commitment to a system that values creativity and understands the power of drawing from multiple disciplines to solve real-world problems. So let's prepare our students for a world where creativity isn't just a luxury. It's essential. Thank you.